Hi guys and welcome to episode 31 of Beat to the Punch. I'm joined on the line with Brendan Galolly. Brendan, how's things?
Pretty good, Steve. How you doing?
Yeah man, good. Well, I say good, but I mean, I must be like the unluckiest guy in the world. Last week when me and Riku had done the podcast, I felt like I got a wee cramp in my foot, maybe about halfway through, so I just gave it a wee rub. 4 hours later, I couldn't walk. The next morning, I ended up in an accident emergency in the hospital, with them telling me I've got soft tissue damage and nerve damage in my foot. I've been on crutches. Today's the first day I've not had to use crutches to get up and down to the bathroom, and I'm just thinking to myself, how in hell have I managed to get injured while recording a podcast? I've got to be the only guy ever to do that.
Hey, this isn't easy work, and the people should know that.
Yeah, man, it's like I'll sit here and I'll record myself telling these boxers, you pussied out and you did this wrong, you did that, and while I'm talking about it, I pull up with an injury in my foot through sitting in my fat ass.
Yeah, what? It's the hurt business. What are we gonna do?
Well, that's it, mate. That's it. It's a dangerous game. That's why this podcasting isn't for everybody. You know what I mean? And people don't realise we put our life in the line every time that we connect in one of these calls.
Man.
But we haven't got a stacked show this week, Brendan. 2 seconds. Yeah, we haven't got a stacked show this week, so I'm thinking that we can get this done quite quick and then get out of here, eh?
Yeah, that works for me. Not much happened over the weekend.
No. So over the weekend we had the KSI and Logan Paul stuff going on. But on the undercard of that we had a couple of real fights, as we would call them. Or were they real fights? I don't really know. They were that boring. They could have been dreams. But we'll start off with Billy Joe Saunders making his US debut against unheard of Argentinian. Is it Caracas or Caceres or fuck knows? I don't even know the guy's name.
We'll never hear of him again, so I wouldn't worry about his name too much.
Yeah, but this. What did you make of this fight? What?
I guess Billy Joe Saunders looked like shit, and the kid was, he was pretty game. He was a game fighter. He wasn't there to lay down for him, and he was being soundly outboxed most of the time, but was trying to be in the fight. It just kind of felt like it just stunk. It just wasn't, just if that's how you want to introduce yourself to the American public, I guess no one's gonna remember your name, let alone the guy you fought's name.
Yeah, I've actually heard that that's this guy's first 12-round fight. That's the first time he was coming into a 12-round fight. So how the fuck is this guy who's never fought at super middleweight? How has he come up and got a world title shot? We're talking about Logan Paul and that being a bit of a joke, but boxing doesn't do itself any favours. Boxing itself is a bit of a joke when this is a world title fight.
Yeah, no, everyone's complaining the whole time about these guys, how they sanctioned them. Well, you know what? They're fucking 0-0 as professionals. They did one amateur fight against each other, fairly evenly matched. Then, meanwhile, around the undercard, you're going to throw a guy who's moving up in weight. He was fought nobody. He gets a world title shot, and no one's really complaining about that. Just for an easy fight for Billy Joe Saunders to come back from.
Yeah, and it ended up it wasn't that easy. And Billy Joe Saunders fought once in my hometown. It was his comeback fight. He fought in Paisley in the ice rink in Paisley. Not a big arena. You're talking about maybe 600-700 people. And that's how much the ice rink holds. And that night, Billy Joe Saunders came in against a Russian taxi driver and should have lost his middleweight crown that night. He was jobbed. He won. The Russian lad was jobbed that night. And this reeked it. It's reeked it. Billy Joe Saunders didn't look as if he was interested. Billy Joe Saunders looked as if he was struggling with the pace. After 9 rounds, he looked as if he was breathing very heavily in his corner. And I noticed right for the first round, Billy Joe Saunders was fighting with both feet flat on the ground. Billy Joe Saunders never fights like that. So I'm actually starting to wonder now, is Billy Joe Saunders, is he past it? Is he been sleeping at the wheel and now he's missed his prime?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but when you have an opponent like this, and and it's supposed to be easy work, do you put in that much effort into training camp? Do you just like, I'm going to be able to beat this guy at 30%? Why? I'll make the weight and that'll be enough to get the job done. I don't know if he has that type of mentality, but I figured if you were making your debut here, you'd want to put on, you'd want to, he should be knocking a guy like that out in 3 rounds.
Yeah, that was my thoughts. I mean, I think if you put Chris Eubank Jr. in there against that guy, Chris Eubank Jr. gets that guy out of there inside 5 rounds, no problem.
Yeah, for sure, because he's always in shape and he's always interested. He just looks so disinterested. And it ended up being it was a boring tactical fight, and he didn't look great at all. And to give some credit to the other guy, he tried his best. He was just outmatched, outgunned.
Yeah, I mean, the only positive for Billy was the stoppage itself. It was quite a good stoppage, but do you know when he got that stoppage, it had the feeling that he needed that stoppage? Now, I don't know what the scorecards were like, but I was thinking that, that Argentinian guy must have been stealing a lot of the rounds, because he was just completely outworking Billy Joe Saunders. And I noticed any time Billy Joe moved back, this guy chased him and threw punches and bunches, and Saunders looked terrible. He couldn't get his head out of the way, and that stuff that we usually associate with Billy Joe Saunders. Everything was off. The timing was off. His movement was off. He was doing all these head movements, but getting caught all the time. It wasn't very vintage Billy Joe. And I mean, do you think that he's got a future? Do you think he should be a super middleweight?
I'm still not sure why he moved up in the first place when all the action at the time was at 160. Didn't really make sense to me.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's with the right promoter with a bunch of guys at 168. I'm not going to write him off over this one performance, but I feel like he's had a career in these fights. Like, it's always a comeback fight. But he's not coming back from anything. He's coming back from not fighting.
Yeah.
Emotional layoff, being an asshole.
That's a very valid point, because Billy Joe Saunders' career is a career of really never really pushing on, is it? He's never pushed on. He'll get a good win, and then he lets that momentum disappear. When he beat Eubank, he done great, and then he came on and beat Lemieux, and then again he's lost any of that momentum, any of the name that he could have. People in America, the other American podcasts, were starting to take him seriously when he beat Lemieux, and now I think that he's went back to being a bit of a joke. I mean, I don't understand. After he lost his title due to the failed drug test, I mean, the WBO reinstated him back as mandatory to go and fight, what's his face? I can't remember. The boy fights with Eddie Hearn. Why? I don't understand why he moved up to super middleweight and came away for that fight, and rather than going and trying getting his title back. It just seems like Billy Joe Saunders' career is just forever a joke. When is he going to start taking himself serious? Because as a fan of Billy Joe Saunders, I'm a bit sick of waiting on
it. His trajectory is starting to remind me a little bit of Chavez Jr., like that type of, get a good win, look good, and then just disappear, fail a drug test, be off for 3 months, beat up a bum, look terrible in a fight, and then take off another, 8, 9, 12 months. Same trajectory. There just feels like a bit of a waste.
I seen today that he was saying, he's really mouthing off about this Canelo fight. Now, I think the time for that has passed. I think after the Lemieux fight, he had to go for that Canelo fight then, and it had to beat 160. And I think then, at that time, there was a chance it could have gave Canelo trouble. I think since then, Canelo's elevated his game to a different level anyway. And, I don't think that he would be a match now. But Billy's now saying he'll go up to 175 to meet Canelo. Now, when guys start speaking like that suggests to me that they're looking to cash out.
I mean, of course, you want to go to 175 to fight Canelo, because I'm sure it's the biggest money anyone's going to make around that, weight division. So I take all that with a grain of salt. Why would Canelo even consider him as an opponent? What does he do? What does he bring? He brings no fans. He brings nothing for him.
Yeah, that's a valid point, because Billy Joe is unheard of outside of Britain because of the way he's let his career go.
Not for nothing. I don't know how well he's known in Britain. When was his last fight with Frank at that that football stadium. There was no one at that thing either. He was fighting another guy.
Yeah, it's
Some of the other
Stevenage.
guys more deserving of a shot.
Yeah, again, yeah, absolutely, man. And it just feels like when you actually sit back and you look at how highly Billy Joe Saunders is regarded, and then match that up with his CV. I mean, if it was at Willie Monroe Jr., that's one of his best wins. He was never that great. David Lemieux was on the slide. David Lemieux was past it all right. He totally schooled him, but that wasn't the best Lemieux. I mean, probably still the best one on his resume is that Chris Eubank Jr. one. And I was thinking about this the other day there. Chris Eubank Jr. is probably a bigger star in boxing than what Billy Joe Saunders is. More people know who Chris Eubank Jr. is. And that tells you a lot about how Billy's really let his career get away from him.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Chris Eubank, he's active. I feel like he's always on TV over there. He's always, he's always with his dad, which gets helps your profile. And also that's his best win. He kind of beat a novice Eubank Jr. at the time. He never really had much of an amateur career, and that's very early on in both their professional bouts, professional careers, I believe.
I heard Matthew Macklin. Not to talk about his fight for too much longer, but I also heard Matthew Macklin suggest that Billy Joe Saunders is now struggling at the weight at super middleweight. Now, if that's true, that is not a good sign for Billy's commitment.
It could be, like I said, maybe, there was no opponent for this fight. Maybe treating this is going to be a cakewalk. I'm going to blow this guy out. And, when you do that, shit like this happens.
Yeah. Even when he came out with the American, shots and that one, it just reeked of it. It was like a Poundland version of Tyson Fury. It wasn't.
Yeah.
You're like, Billy, you can't pull this off, and then you've not got the charisma to pull it off. You come across kind of like as we call him in Scotland. You come across more like a Ned, a chav if you're in England. I don't know what you'd call it, an asshole probably in America. You just got. Rather than like kind of doing it in the character that Tyson Fury does it in. You know what I mean with that?
Yeah. He seems like a dick. He's always doing dickish shit.
Yeah, but I mean, let's move on to the other fight. It was on that card. Now, we all know that Devin Haney is going to be a superstar in the sport. The boy's got all the skills, he's got everything, but he's 20 years old, and this fight kind of reeked to that maybe we need to put the brakes on Devin Haney a wee bit. What did you think of his fight?
I don't think you got to put the brakes on him, but you end up with these type of defenses when you give guys world titles when they're 20 years old, where they're still, developing. But he had a guy in there who wanted no part of being in there. He ran away, he stunk up the fight. He couldn't get rid of him. It just, it was not like an eyesore. I can't really put it on him, but you're gonna have guys who are gonna fight you like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, whoever it was is Matchroom's matchmaker, they played a bit of a stinker there, because even when you seen the height difference in the ring, this guy was rangy, he was gangly, he was... I mean, he obviously fancied himself because he switched to southpaw a few times and that, and which I think is it's all good for Devin Haney, letting him see guys like this, letting him try to work him out, but once you've got that world title belt, fans aren't very forgiving about you getting schooled fights, you know what I mean, learning on the job. Once you've got one of the world titles, for me, I'm old-fashioned, I don't think you should be a prospect world champion. Once you've accepted that world title, you've got to then be a world champion, and I think this could be a case of it. Getting that world title so early could be a hindrance to Devin Haney.
Hello?
Yeah.
That's the way it just goes now. They're giving all these guys want belts after, Lomachenko got one after 12 fights. They all want to be like the youngest champ. And then, all these promoters, you invest a ton of money into these guys, and you're not ready to make them you're not ready to do a unification fight. So they, we'll match him here, we'll put him on an undercard. I mean, it just sucks. It's just the way it is now, and it's a little shitty,
Yeah. One thing I would say about Devin Haney, though, is he can be overly cautious at times. He just refuses to really like sit in the pocket and put yourself in danger. He'll work hard to get inside, but he doesn't stay inside long enough and land enough shots for me against guys of this calibre. You know, he's in there fighting as if he's in there fighting against guys, if they catch you once, are going to knock him out. And that's not really the case. I think he could maybe take a few more risks and maybe get a few more of these guys out of there. Do you know what I mean? I think that could be something to know. You know, while people are trying to watch him and he's got this WBC belt, you know, maybe he has to start taking a few more risks.
You know, he was winning very easily. This guy wouldn't engage him. I'm not going to read too much off this performance. You know, you get stuck with some of these guys sometimes, and you know what? They should have looked into better matchmaking, especially since they claiming his car did so well and has such big appeal. Maybe you want to bring him in against the guy who's going to bring the fight to him, and he'll get like, you know, a sick knockout. You know.
Yeah.
Instead, you don't bring in like a guy who fights like this. No one wants to watch this shit. No, I don't care how big a purist you are. You don't want to watch a guy stink a fight out.
No, definitely not. And as I said, he was that big and rangy that, you know, he could tie Haney up quite a lot. I think that this Santiago was a late replacement, but
yeah.
But I mean, surely for a late replacement, you bring somebody in that's going to get knocked out. You know, you don't bring somebody in that's going to fucking stink the show out. You kind of bring somebody in and say, well, at least if we're not getting the fight that we thought we were, we're going to get something for the highlight reel for Haney. But that's a fight that Devin Haney should be looking to forget.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you win, you move on to the next thing, and you know he has big ambitions with whoever he's calling out. But I don't see any of that happening soon.
Well, I seen today that the WBC have ordered him and Ventura to go to a purse bid.
That's strange because, you know, isn't Tank the number one contender?
Yeah,
contender?
And that was what I was going to say. And Tank Davis fights Gamboa in a few months. Now, surely the sensible thing today, and what fans would have wanted, was the Gamboa Tank Davis fight gets made a final eliminator, and then you put it out to purse bids in January.
Oh, well, that makes all the sense in the world, Steve. But, you know, we're dealing with the WBC, who doesn't operate in things that make sense.
Well, do you know what it feels like just now? It feels like the WBC, the way that they've even awarded Devin Haney that world title, the way that they even awarded him that, and then now that they're telling him it's going to be the Ventura fight for his mandatory, Ventura is ranked third, Tank Davis ranked number one. Tank Davis fights in a month and a half away. Surely to God, do you just make that a final eliminator? But I'm getting the feeling now that the WBC are wanting to nail their flag to the post. Do you know what I mean? I think that they want Devin Haney to be their world champion, and you know, and everything that comes with you know, Devin Haney's building up quite a lot of hype behind him, and I think the WBC went in there early, and that's why they've gave him the Ventura. Kind of, don't get me wrong, it's a decent step up in opponent, but it's still an easy night's work for Haney. Rather than order the Tank Davis fight, and that's a fight that all us fans want. You know, whether Tank would have took it's a different story.
Yeah, you never know if you're gonna make that. That's two different sides of the street, and you know, I only fight on Showtime, I only fight on the Zone, and all that shit comes into play that we hate. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, it fucking really stinks for the WBC because I mean, as mandatories, you want them really the best guys to be called your mandatory. You don't really want fucking guys that are, you know, past their best getting named in there instead of like guys you would actually want to see fighting for the title.
Oh no, I agree 100%. But that's just, you know, the way they do business. I mean, Lomachenko should still have the belt. We were just at the fight where he won it. You can't take it away from him.
Yeah, I know. And now Eddie's saying that if he wants to be the undisputed, he has to now fight Devin Haney because Devin Haney's got his world title. Have you ever heard anything so fucking stupid in your life?
No. I'm pretty sure he's not concerned with fighting Devin Haney. He keeps calling him out, and I think that would be. I don't think he's ready for a fight at this stage of his career.
And I think that you've got to worry about. You know, I look at this as well and think, look, Campbell. Look, Campbell's a guy who fought Jorge Linares in there, and you know he's had to fight Lomachenko. Put in two great performances against both of the guys, and then Devin Haney has just been handed that WBC title. You know, there's something that doesn't seem very fair to me. That Luke Campbell trying to get his hands on a world title has had fights like this, you know, has had these like really difficult fights where Devin Haney gets one Gmail to him. You know what I mean? That's fucking really shitty. That.
It's shit. It's shit. And you know, when you got a guy, Lomachenko's trying to get all the belts and unify him, which is what I guess everyone really wants to see. The one best guy in division, then you tell him after he wins the belt, you know what? We're gonna make you the super emeritus franchise, you know, Panamanian champion, and you can come back and fight for the belt whenever. When the guy hasn't even moved the weight division or you know, that's crazy. Because
I don't actually think that they know what this franchise title is. Because I thought it made sense with Canelo because he was jumping up and doing weights, so therefore it keeps him fighting for the WBC. Now I said this last week. Now if Lomachenko hasn't moved weight, hasn't given up and doing, why is he not just the world champion of that weight division? Why does he have to be upgraded to the franchise champion? I thought this was for only guys that were going to be stepping up and doing weights.
I don't know if and then the plan was, I guess you're gonna get the Comey Lopez fight, and then you unify against that and have all the belts. But that plan went to shit because those crooks down in Mexico. You know, I don't know what they're doing. Maybe more sanctioning fees for them. Who knows?
Yeah,
it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Yeah. Well, here, that's one for you. Just while we're talking about stuff like this, anyway, we've got Teofimo Lopez and Comey fighting next month.
Yes, sir.
I know that you're high on Teofimo Lopez, but what about if him and Devin Haney fought just now? Where would your money be?
I would be like a 50-50 call for me. I'd have a better opinion after the December fight, but I like Teofimo Lopez. I'd lean towards him.
Yeah, no problem. It'll be a good fight when that one finally comes round, actually, because there's nothing better than seeing just how good a prospect is, and there's no way of finding out how good he is until you match him hard, and that's what's happening. Yeah. You know. What about Jamel Herring? Jamel Herring retained his WBO world title and fighting Lamont Roach, was it? Yeah, he fought Lamont Roach, beat him in a points decision. Now, I haven't seen this fight, so you're going to need to fill in the blanks here. How was it?
I didn't see this fight either.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it either. No, I really can't comment on it. I like Jamel Herring, so I'm happy he won, but I have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I mean, here's me thinking you, being an ex-serviceman, would have been glued to your ESPN when Jamel was fighting.
I had a busy weekend.
So. Yeah. I remember because I got a phone call at the early hours in the morning when you were out hitting the town with Renzo.
Yeah, and then that rolled right into Sunday, into the football game.
Jamel Herring, he's a very competent big boxer. I quite like. I didn't see him this time, but when I've seen him before, he's a very competent boxer. And Bob's done a great job of tapping into that. Tapping into his story, because he's got a great story. He's an ex-serviceman, done his 2 tours of Iraq. There's tragedy in there. He lost his young daughter to she died cot death. And he went away and fought in the Olympics and all that. He's got a great story. I interviewed him before, and I really he's a really nice guy, so you like to see him do well. But I mean, Top Rank's got a lot of options out there for Jamel Herring next. He could make a big payday. There's Cal Frampton's there, Valdez is there. I mean, there's quite a few in his division that he can be matched with Top Rank. Where do you think that they'll go next to him?
He's a tough night for everyone. He's so he's like for super featherweight. He's like a big tall guy and a little rangy, and he's a very 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 solid boxer. I mean, he doesn't bring a lot of physical power to the table. So I don't know if you'd want to risk a Valdez fight with him. He could easily play spoiler.
Yeah.
So, but they do have options for him, and I know it seems like he's happy since he made the move to Top Rank. He's actually getting promoted. He's headlining a few shows. So.
Yeah, man, and I mean, as I said, I think Bob's doing well. He's kind of getting his story across. As I said, because he's got a great story. Heron, and you know that he still does a lot for ex-servicemen and injured servicemen.
Yeah.
You know, he does a lot. So, you know, it's good. It's nice to see nice guys doing well, especially in boxing. Usually nice guys don't do too good in boxing.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Right, as we touched on at the start, it was the KSI and Logan Paul fight at the weekend. Now, we know that boxing fans, you know, they've never really been too interested in this fight, and, you know, I didn't watch it. I'm not bothered with it. You know, if these boys want to make a hell of a lot of money, then good luck to them. But I was thinking the other day there, and I was thinking, is there anything boxing can take away that it can learn for these young guys? Do you think that there's any lessons to be learned in maybe like the promotional side and how these boys sell themselves?
I think it really has a lot to do with their, like, you know, their YouTube personas and you know, what their fan base they develop through that, and you know, their social media presence. That's how they get such a big, like, big fight and big crowd and the big numbers. I think it'd be difficult to maintain yourself as a high level athlete and be like a, you know, try to have like a YouTube career as well. They don't exactly go ideally hand in hand together. But I do think some of these guys could definitely use a better, like, social media presence, you know?
Yeah,
more promoting themselves, more,
that's
you know,
exactly
more in touch
it.
with your fan base.
I mean, we've got Dave Allen over here in the UK, who is a very limited boxer, but makes his way onto pay-per-view shows, gets big Commonwealth title fights, all because he's a good character on Twitter. I mean, over in the US, we see it with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia's nothing special at all, but Ryan Garcia's a good-looking kid. And he uses that on his Instagram, and now he's got fucking crazy followers, you know.
But we got to see if he can, like, monetize that yet. It hasn't been like I want to see him hold up a card on his own based on that, because you know I don't know what 16-year-old girls are buying tickets to go to fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, there must be something in it because he's obviously felt strong enough to kind of play Golden Boy. You know, he's kind of playing them for more money.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have gave it to him, but they did. But I mean, we got to see who he brings into. You know, they put him on the Canelo card, so that proves nothing. His fans can't even get to Vegas. You know, get into anything in Vegas, let alone a fight and buy tickets.
Yeah, I was
also
also
see a guy like that in the zone. I like the guy. Who's the British guy? I always see him on Twitter. One of the Edwards brothers, maybe Sonny Edwards.
Yeah.
Every time he's at a fight, he puts on, "Hey, I'm sitting over here. Come down, see me. I'll sign whatever, take pictures." Maybe guys should do more shit like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make new fans, be more involved with your fan base, grow your profile. It can only help you.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this the other day. I mean, there's too many boxers think that their work is done in their training camps, in sparring, and on fight night. And in today's world, I mean, it's a hard sell. Boxing now, especially at small hall level, you have to be putting in the hours outside of boxing, thinking of new ways to kind of get fans in and get people interested in you. And when I see that boxers haven't even got Twitter or they've no got like any Facebook pages or they take nothing to do with it, I just sit and think to myself, is like, it's just lazy, you know. It's not going to do any harm. It's not going to lose you any tickets. Being on these platforms.
Sure.
So if it sells you 10 tickets, then I mean, it's fantastic. I'll put it this way, two fighters that we're going to speak about in a minute, Kash Farooq and Lee McGregor. Both of them on Twitter are very disengaged. I mean, I was looking to buy tickets. At one point, I was looking for 14 tickets. And rather than go to MTK, I was looking to buy them off a boxer. Now, I've been private mail bay for these guys, and I've did it on their Facebook. And it's just, there's nothing there, you know. It's no them that operate it, and I'm just thinking to myself, well, there you go, there's 14 tickets. 40, I know that's nothing to them, because I mean, that this fight's going to sell out, but that's how easy it is. If you've got a Twitter handle, or you can get direct messages, you find out who's on a card and go and help a boxer out. I mean, I know hundreds of guys like that on Twitter.
Yeah, and it's when you see some of these guys, especially, you know, over by you guys, where these guys got to sell their tickets to get on cards. They got to sell tickets to make a profit, and then you don't hear anything from them. And then all of a sudden, it's like, "Hey, I got to sell like 60 tickets in 4 days. Can you help me out?" It's like, maybe if you you grew your presence a little bit, in I just say more interaction. It doesn't have to be all the time, but be a little more mindful.
Yeah, man.
Maybe have one of your fucking friends run it for you.
Yeah, man, because that's what I was also saying as well. I mean, the YouTube's a brilliant platform, free. You know what I mean? I don't understand why these guys on the I would do it for free. I mean, I used to do it when I was doing interviews. I used to do little promotional videos before the interview about the upcoming fights, and the boxers always liked that, and it was always something they could share on their Facebooks and stuff. You know what I mean? Stuff to help them like that. Now this is just me sitting with an iMac and a few cameras that can do this. It doesn't take a hell of a lot of work, and there's a load of people out there. It will help these boxers out. Free of charge just to be involved. There's loads of these media guys out there, and it's just, I don't know if there's like maybe a snobbery or there's just a reluctance in people on to the uptake of social media and really how powerful it can be.
Yeah, no, I think it's always a benefit as long as you're not too involved in it, and you even have someone run it for you. Some of these guys aren't at the point where you have to pay. You can't pay someone, but sure you got a buddy, or a sister or whatever,
Yeah,
just,
man.
Just keep your name mindful of people's minds.
Yeah.
I mean, like one of the biggest guys on Twitter, he's retired, but Enzo Mack's always on Twitter talking shit with regular people, talking shit with other fighters. It's good interaction. It's good to see.
Well, I mean, Billy Nelson, Billy who I know quite well, Billy's got a heavyweight boxer, Martin Bakole, for the Congo. I mean, Billy, through Twitter, has built this guy a profile that his fights haven't deserved the profile, but more people have heard of Martin through Billy and his over-exaggerated claims about him on social media, but Billy's done a great job of promoting him himself to the point now where Martin's at Matchroom, and Martin's now starting to make a few things happen for himself, but Billy's got him in that door.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, even to talk shit, anything, controversy sells. I guess some of these guys, but I guess a lot of these guys also are just, trying to focus at the task at hand, So I'm sure it's hard enough getting in that fucking ring, and training and shit,
Yeah, but
fuck, I forgot to put up a video. But that's why,
Yeah, I could imagine
a fucking sister, a brother.
I could imagine when you're sitting there starving, trying to make weight. I could imagine being on your phone and then recording YouTube videos and Facebook videos. I could imagine it'd probably be the worst feeling in the world, to be honest.
Yeah, and then you got some fucking prick like me, this guy fucking sucks. He's getting shinned in the third round. But probably not the best to read all that shit as well.
Yeah. We also heard Eddie Hearn claim that this was Sky Box Office's biggest pay-per-view event of the year, and we also heard that DAZN had done the biggest numbers. Now, as Terry Dropping Down says in the Highfield Boxing Pod, be sceptical of these kind of numbers coming through. We don't know how accurate they are, but if they are true, are we on the verge of seeing a celebrity what is it you call it, reality TV boxing kind of league or shows coming to the TV? Because we've already seen
I fucking hope not.
We've already seen Tommy Fury call out KSI.
You're a real boxer, dude, and you're huge. Why are you trying to fight a kid who didn't even make the cruiserweight limit? I have no problem with these two guys. They did it once before. They had their beef or manufactured, whatever it is. Made a ton of money. They actually put in a training camp, and they actually did the medicals. I don't need to see it'll start off with them, and it'll end up being these fucking old washed up fucking guys getting beaten not even beating the shit out of each other, just be terrible. I don't need it. I don't want to watch it. I don't give a shit.
Well, I was sitting thinking today, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, what would it take to get me on board with this? And I was thinking that the concept isn't that bad. I think this could make fucking good TV. Because I was thinking, who would I like to see on it? And I'm thinking, right, who's not been in the limelight in a few years that they could get on a show like this? I was thinking, Ronan Keating. There we go, Ronan Keating for Boyzone. A good old 90s, Irish 90s band, So we'll get Ronan Keating on, and who could he be fighting? So let's think Robbie Williams. We've not seen a lot of Robbie Williams in the UK for a while. So Ronan Keating fighting Robbie Williams at a catchweight. I would watch that fucking shit. I would.
they had this here. They had this here years ago. It wasn't like it wasn't pro boxing. It was always like I think it was like on Fox or some shit. Fox stuff. These guys would wear headgear. You'd have like, but they always end up with like B or C list celebrities like Screech from Saved by the Bell fighting
Oh
someone.
man, I would watch that shit, man. I'm gonna go on YouTube and look for
terrible.
this.
It's terrible. I mean, you watch it, but you want to see that on the card of the undercard of an AJ fight? No, you don't want to see it.
Well,
you want to watch that shit. You want to watch that shit if you had a few beers on a Friday night and you record it and you can laugh your ass off for a few minutes.
Well, see, this is my thing, right? I think that we could have like a celebrity world super series, right? And then the final gets put on a big pay-per-view undercard, and then it means so many more men can buy tickets because they can then take their wives, because the wives will want to go. And I'm fucking thinking that I'm a marketing genius because I was like, does Sky know my great idea? And I was like, 'cause I don't know if I should phone them.
Yeah, but what kind of celebrities you're not gonna get? I think Robbie fucking Williams has enough money for the rest of his life where he doesn't have to put on gloves and make himself look like an asshole,
Well, maybe we just see he's a shite bag if he doesn't come and fight Liam Gallagher since they had all that beef.
Yeah, no, I don't think you get guys like that. You get guys who are fucking broke and need money. No, like a guy like Screech, Dustin Diamond, or whatever the fuck his name is. Fighting like some other fucking ex-sitcom guy who can't do shit.
We can have Rodney for Only Fools and Horses taking on the old grandpa for Steptoe, son. That's the kind of shit I'm in.
You're gonna get.
Well, at least we've got a bit of fun with that. But so, let's talk about. I mean, there's only really one fight this weekend happening in the UK. I think there might be a card on Friday. I'm not sure. But the only card that I'm interested in is the card in Glasgow. It's taking place at the Emirates in Glasgow, and it's Kash Farooq versus Lee McGregor. Now, you are getting this one live in the US as well. It's going to be on ESPN Plus on the app. I know I asked you to do a bit of homework on these guys so you could talk a bit about them. So, what have you seen so far?
I watched them both beat up Scott Allen, and I watched Farouk's last fight. And that's really it. I've had like a busy week, so I'm gonna leave it to you on this one. I'll ask you some questions if you want.
Yeah, man. So on you go. Batter in, you host.
Sure, no problem. I was wondering who do you make as the favorite in this matchup?
Who do I make as a favourite? It's got to be Kash Farooq. I think that Kash Farooq over the last 2 years has really improved as a fighter. I think that Scott Allen isn't as cool as what Kash Farooq is. I think Lee McGregor. We've seen Lee McGregor against Scott Allen get wound up by the crowd, get wound up before the fight, and due to that, we've seen him taking a hell of a lot of punishment. Now, a lot of the punches he took in that fight, if Kash would have landed them, Lee McGregor would have been put out. I also think that Kash Farooq's got a bit of that, he's got a bit of that Terence Crawford in him, a bit of that patience where he'll wait for you to leave a hand out that split second too long and he can execute. He's got a bit of that bad streak in him. But I mean, saying all that, it is probably, I'm probably leaning 55% towards Kash Farooq, 45% McGregor. It really is that close. Also think
is McGregor a much bigger? Is he a bigger?
McGregor's a big boy.
Like to me.
Now, I've never seen Kash Farooq in the flesh. I've only seen him on TV, so it's hard to tell, but I know that Lee McGregor is very big at the weight. He's massive for a bantamweight, and I know that was one of the reasons Lee wanted to get this fight made sooner rather than later, because he is tight at the weight. So, I mean, that could be an issue. I mean, I still think Lee McGregor's probably got about another year at the weight. I don't think he's struggling that much, so I think that this is going to be the best version of Lee McGregor at bantamweight versus the best version of Kash Farooq. But I also think that there could be a bit of the Marvin Hagler effect here, because Marvin Hagler, forever the victim, forever in the shadow of Leonard and Hearns, never got what he deserved, or he always felt he never got what he deserved. And I think that this has happened with Kash Farooq. These two boys are good friends outside of the ring through boxing for Scotland, but when Lee McGregor turned pro, there was a big fanfare. He gets signed to Cyclone Promotions. He's already boxed at the biggest arenas in Scotland. He's been on TV. Meantime, Kash Farooq's been fighting at St Andrew's Club, which is, it's one of these boxing clubs where you it's a meal in boxing. Instead of being on national TV, he's only been on local TV and BBC Scotland, and he's kind of had to come up under the radar. And I don't know if there maybe be a wee bit of needle there that he's maybe not got the respect so far that he deserves.
Yeah, I mean, sounds like he doesn't get the respect he deserves, but I really wouldn't know. So, it's got your classic Glasgow Albert Edinburgh.
Yeah. Well, we've got Kash. Kash is through this wave. Kash is through. I think he's for Glasgow anyway, but I know he trains a bit in Paisley. But yeah, man. So Kash is my boy. And I don't think the way that the world's gone, and there seems to be this fucking right-wing element appearing everywhere in the world, I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world to have, a Pakistani Scotsman being a bit of a sporting icon, or moving up to be like, a world champion and be somebody this country can be proud of, and kind of showing that how cosmopolitan that we all are, and kind of fucking stick your fingers up, because there's too much of this fucking nonsense going on now in society where, everybody else's life's fault through, everybody else's life's shite because of just people it's nothing to do with them, it's fucking... So I don't think it would do any harm socially as well, having something like Kash Farooq.
I don't know about the Scottish cosmopolitan thing with your haggis and your iron brew and your buckfast.
Well, see, if you put all them in a glass together, that's a cosmopolitan.
So, what do you think? Do you think a loss, does a loss hurt either one of these guys going forward?
No, I think it's one of these fights where everybody kind of respects it. It's two top prospects going. It's kind of like when George Groves fought, fucking hell, can't even remember his name. It was kind of George Groves fighting young, or like Eubank and Billy Joe Saunders. It's kind of like when these guys fight, they're that young. The loss doesn't really do nothing. What it does is it kind of fast tracks the other one more than it slows the other guy down. But I think if we see Kash winning, it'd be good to see somebody getting behind him, whether it be your Sky Sports or whether it be, it'd be good to see this kid start to get the recognition he deserves, because he's British champion, and nobody really outside of the West Central Scotland's ever seen him on TV.
Who's he signed with?
I don't know who his management company is, but he actually does still box for St Andrew's Boxing Club, which is like you pay for memberships. You box in their hall, and it's like a dinner event, so he's not actually... Yeah. I don't think he's actually with a promotional team as yet. I think he's still a free agent.
I think a big win. I mean, he wins a big win. I think, he probably sets himself up pretty well there. That would sound like. Yeah,
man. And in this Emirates Arena, it maybe hold about 1,000, maybe just over 1,000. It's a decent small hall arena. It's good. I quite like it there for the boxing, but I can see it being very 50-50. I can see the atmosphere in there being electric. With all these guys coming through for Edinburgh, getting all bust through, because there's a few Edinburgh fighters on the card as well. So a few Edinburgh guys coming through. You'll have a lot of the West Coast guys all here supporting Kash, and I imagine hopefully everything stays civilised in the arena. But I imagine it would, because you can't take drinks to your seat. In there you have to drink at the bar and then go back into the hall. So I mean that usually cuts down on trouble. So I think it should be a great night.
That's a bad thing in some cases,
Yeah. Especially at small hall events, because there usually isn't enough security. So I mean, I always think with MTK cards, that's a massive bonus. But hopefully everything goes all right, and hopefully it comes across. The atmosphere when Lee McGregor fought Scott Allen was electric. The place was electric. Even seeing Lee McGregor losing his cool and shouting abuse over the ropes to the Scott Allen fans, brilliant. All part of the theatre of boxing. So hopefully we get a bit more of that.
Looking forward to checking it out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, as you say, you'll be able to watch it in your ESPN Plus. I was actually just saying the other day how weird a deal that is, that ESPN show small hall fights in Britain, but this is one that I would recommend for you to watch.
I'm looking at the schedule now. I mean, there's just a ton of boxing on this weekend. There's a card from Germany. Some guy named Sven Forling is fighting for an interim light heavyweight title. There's a card from Melbourne, Australia. There's a card, and then
I think there's a card in Norway as well. I think Norway's got its first professional card in about a year.
Looking to see if it's on. Let's see if it's on there. You also got that shit show Friday night from Liverpool.
Yeah,
with the fucking bum who's that fucking bomb Rocky fucking fielding. And then you got what's his name making a comeback, Martin Murray and Terry Flanagan, where they just took everyone washed up from the area and threw them on one card together.
Yeah, man, it's another testimonial, isn't it? You know, we just had the testimonial in Manchester, so now we have to have one in Liverpool for a load of old guys to get another paycheck and do pretty much nothing else in the sport.
Yeah, I can't name all three guys they're fighting. I have no clue who they are.
Yeah. On the news this week, we've also seen that Danny Jacobs is now officially fighting Chavez Jr.
It's Chavez Jr. Nothing's official till he's in the fucking ring the day of the fight.
But this fight is surprisingly enough now taking place in that boxing mecca, which is Phoenix.
Tucson. They moved it to Tucson, Arizona.
Arizona, is it? Oh.
Tucson, Arizona. Yes.
Yeah, and this is because Chavez Jr. He just didn't take a drugs test. He didn't meet the criteria for a WADA drug test, and by that, I think they mean that he just disappeared without giving one.
Ringing his bell, he had the fence in his backyard. That's what he did.
But the thing is like, I seen Eddie Hearn today saying that there is now 7 weeks drug testing for this fight. Let's be honest here. Most of these drugs that these guys are using nowadays are undetectable 7 weeks out anyway, you know what I mean? Even if we're talking about, like EPO and stuff like that, EPO is undetectable. It's undetectable after a certain amount of time, but you still get to gain it for months and months after you stop using it.
You got Chavez Jr. fucking these all the drugs will be in his fat cells because the guy smokes fucking so much pot that he'll get popped for something, I'm sure. He can take whatever he wants. I just think he hasn't fought competitively in so long. I think Danny Jacobs needs a big win, and he's going to batter him from pillar to post.
Yeah, I just hope I hope that Jacobs does go in and do that rather than us getting another kind of shit show that we got with Canelo and Chavez.
Yeah, this is the deal when you sign up to fight this guy. It's like, what is he going to do? Is he going to fucking make it? Like I'm saying, I wouldn't be shocked if that fight's called off and they got to find someone else to fight him.
Yeah. And just to finish up,
Danny Jacobs, he fucking deserves better than having to deal with that bullshit.
Yeah, man, this is Danny Jacobs' first venture up, as well as this is at super middleweight as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So if he wins, there's he's with Eddie, so there's several competitive fights for him at that weight. Well,
do you know what I mean? Let's be honest, Danny Jacobs and Callum Smith is a fight. Nobody seems to be talking about that fight. Why have I not heard MD mention Danny Jacobs taking that one? I've not seen that mentioned anywhere, and that is a fight that makes so much sense to me.
I mean, yeah, I know Callum's banging on the door for Canelo, and if he can't get that, that's a fight I'd like to see it.
But what you do is you sell it as Danny Jacobs takes on Callum Smith, Canelo gets a winner.
Yeah. I mean, Canelo's right in his own path now. I mean, wouldn't be that don't shock me who he fights next.
Franchise champion, baby. You know what I mean? This guy can do what he fucking wants, man.
Pretty much, and at this point, he pretty much deserves to do whatever he wants. Aside from eating that Mexican beef.
Yeah, and just to finish up, this is relating to something you sent me today, and it's that Deontay Wilder's tickets for his fight against Luis Ortiz are just not selling, are they?
Yeah, no, I knew that was going to be a difficult sell in Las Vegas that weekend. You're a few days before Thanksgiving. That's a major holiday here. People don't live at home, travel home. The flights are always expensive, so it's a big ask to ask people to get on a plane to go to Vegas the week before. The week before that happens. It's just, if you had the fight in Brooklyn, I think it would have sold a lot better. Where the first one was, because Ortiz doesn't have any fans, and Wilder draws pretty well here.
Yeah,
I mean, seems like a silly venue.
I thought, I says to you earlier on, I just took it that this fight was going to be in New York because New York is a fight town. And, you know, so
Yeah.
even a fight like this, which is two guys that might not be notorious ticket sellers, it's a big enough, good enough fight that there's enough boxing fans there to get a decent crowd in. Now, taking it to Vegas, Vegas is overpriced, it's expensive, and as you say, it's a Thanksgiving. Is it the Thanksgiving weekend? Yeah.
It's the weekend before, but
It's the weekend before,
people
so
are starting to travel. People are, you know.
Yeah, and people have also can't afford to go to Vegas the week before. They've then maybe got to fly home and see their parents. You know, it seems like seems very ill thought out. It doesn't seem very smart. Even when you see the original ticket pricing, it kind of looks like this didn't even cross their mind.
Nah, you know what they get? You know what they get the big site fee, and I really don't think they give a shit about how well the tickets sell. They've already made the money on the site fee. It's a pay-per-view on Fox. I think they figured it'll sell that way. And, you know.
Well, that's it. I mean, who we to tell anybody? I mean, if somebody's going to give you a load of money to bring that fight to their place, then, you know, you're going to do it regardless. If they're going to pay a massive site fee, then ticket sales aren't really your problem, then, are they? That's the casino's problem.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, they'll give them out to whoever, they're fucking high rollers, and then, you know, then the schlubs like us who want to go, we pay for the rest of them.
Yeah, man, but you're just thinking, I mean, it was down something ridiculous, like to $100.
Yeah.
It was a $500 ticket, it was down to $100.
And that guy, Jim Boone, he knows his stuff. He's one of the best boxing ticket guys around. You always look to him for advice. Do you wait to buy tickets from him? Do you buy them now? Do you wait? He said when this fight came out, just wait till the week of the fight. It will go down even more.
Yeah, really, the people who are actually in Las Vegas now, you know, holidaymakers, tourists, they could fucking maybe land on their feet. You know what I mean? Because if you're there when Canelo's fighting, you're paying ridiculous money for a ticket. But you might be able to get a heavyweight title fight. Go see Wilder Ortiz. If it was anything as good as the first one, you're in for a cracking fight, and you're going to pick up the tickets for a Vegas show, fucking for practically nothing. Really, when you think of how much they usually are.
They were $100 and they're great seats, and you know what? Who knows in 2 more weeks what they'll be?
Oh man,
1 more week. I'm losing track of this month's halfway over. It's crazy.
Man, I wish I had a job just now, because I would definitely go and get a loan and come over. Fucking hate being unemployed. But anyway, Brendan.
The podcasting injuries are keeping you on the bench.
Fucking no, that's it. It got me on the pat and mick, as we call it, on the sick. But Brendan, thanks very much for coming on, making time. I know you've been at your work and you're over there in the States freezing your ass off. What was it today? -4 with a 20-mile-an-hour wind?
Yeah, it was nice this morning. I humped my ass to the train. Yeah. I figured out. Reminded me why I love living here so much.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, I was like, yous get that weather and yous just got on with it. See, us here in Scotland, right, we're freezing and all, but see, if we get our big blizzards or we get a big freeze, everything stops. The trains don't work, the buses don't work, you know, fucking power cuts. And you go, this happens every fucking year. Why is this such a big surprise? The other year there, we ran out of grit for the roads. I mean, I don't understand how the fuck that happened, you know.
It's fucking sand. We can't get more of it.
Yeah, exactly. We were importing it for fucking crazy places like Siberia. But Brendan, thanks very much for your time again, mate. Really appreciate it. And thanks
you enjoy the fights this weekend, my friends.
I will do. I'm really looking forward to it. And thanks everybody for listening. Really appreciate that and all, guys. And if you are listening on iTunes, leave a wee review at the bottom. Really, I do appreciate that. Thanks, guys. See you later.